Jordan,
Mr. Alex.
how are you feeling?
I mean, I'm a little hungry, and someone brought something that smells really good in here, so a little ravenous, but spirits are high. Had some good photo shoots and everything. I think I'm gonna look good up on the TV for sure.
You were supposed to fight in July. What happened?
I had an AC joint separation, and I couldn't use my right hand, and I couldn't grapple, and I was considering still fight, but then seeing Elvis knock two people out, I think I got pretty lucky with that one, because I wasn't blocking that left, so that hand couldn't even get to my damn eyebrow. So, the Lord works in mysterious ways. But I'm back, baby. I could grapple, both my hands work. Yeah, I'm happy.
You're known to fight through injuries before, so I guess how difficult was it to say, I'm not fighting?
I mean, I really didn't want to. My wife would just tell me like, please don't do this. She's like, this isn't like a leg. I couldn't I couldn't switch my stance to hide it. Like I need my right arm, and I couldn't grapple. Like if I could grapple, if it was my hand, I probably still would have fought. But shoulders are important, and it's like one of those things where it's like my shoulder still hurts. And I'm talking to all these fighters who had the same injury. They're like, oh, mine still hurts. I'm like, oh, how long ago was your surgery? Like 12 years. So the future's looking pretty bleak, but it's good enough. I won't feel it on fight night, that's for sure.
Obviously, Elvis is having a pretty good year. Is that a fight that you still want?
No, no. I mean, if the UFC gives it to me, I'll take it. But I mean, I think now he's ranked higher than me. He's off a 2 knockout streak. If it happens, it happens. But I'm counting myself lucky. So to respect to him, he knocked out one of the most highly acclaimed prospects in the division, and then he knocked out another guy in Brazil. So, I mean, preferably not. But if it happens, I'm down. I won't shy away from a challenge.
Chase Hooper, when you got this name thrown in front of you, what were your thoughts on the matchup?
I still don't have an answer for that question. Like this could be a really sloppy, ugly, like grappling thing. It could be like a very tedious clinch fight, or it could be really fun, like grappling exchanges. And I'm not sure which one I want because we're both clearly more dangerous in one position, but it's each other's strengths. And like me and Chase aren't like buddies or anything, but like I support Chase. I watch all of his fights. Like we talk at the PI when we meet each other. A really polite young kid. Yeah, like I have mixed feelings about it. But one thing about this sport and about this career choice, like I'm always beating up my friends. And we do it every week. So, I can beat up an acquaintance for 15 minutes. Before the fight, we're business partners. For 15 minutes, I'm going to hate you. I'm trying to, like, orphan your children, like Sean Strickland-esque things, insert there. And then after the fight, hopefully we could be friends. We'll see.
I'm sure you've been seeing it, but everyone's saying, like, this is the most meme fight of all time. I guess, obviously you're both known for your ground game. So, usually if it's two ground specialists, you guys are going to strike, but do you want to test your jiu-jitsu versus his jiu-jitsu?
I mean, maybe at the UFC Invitational for grappling, but this ain't jiu-jitsu. People don't want to see grappling. They want to see knockouts. And I'm going to do my best. I'm not promising nothing, but I'm going to do my best, and he's going to do his best. I'm pretty sure we both went into this fight, and we're like, this is the one, He's like, he hasn't knocked anyone down yet in his career. He's like, this is going to be the guy I'm going to knock down. Nick Fiore almost went down. It's going to be Jordan. At least that's what I'm imagining. I'm like chasing more evil in my head, Yeah, I think this could be a really fun fight. I think my only chance of fight of the night is with Chase Hooper. Because I'll never try to have a fight of the night with anybody else, but we could bang, bro. Let's go. We could go.
You posted about it, and I think a lot of people were shocked that you're the underdog in this fight. What do you think about that?
Nigga, you know what I think about that. 260 plus 260 underdog at one point. Like Patty made sense. Like 400, 450. He has a lot of hype, but I lost. Proven right. Bookies were right. But like, why? He beats Nick Fiore. Like, if I wanted to outstrike Nick Fiore, I would have outstruck him. I would have finished him. Like, that doesn't count. But, people have a very short memory. We both coming off our best striking performance, and he landed like top 5 most significant strikes at lightweight against Nick Fiore, who ruined it. So I blame Nick Fiore for the damn odds. The bookies are going to pay for this one. I'm going to do my best. What if I lose? I'll lose graciously, all that stuff. But I'm very hurt. I was having trouble with this fight until I saw the odds, and I'm like, someone's going to pay for this, damn it. Like, I am not a plus 260 underdog. And then I'm going to say that and get tapped out in 14 seconds. You watch.
Speaking of big underdogs, your old pal Sean Strickland is now champion. What were your thoughts when you saw him win the title?
I mean, it was awe-inspiring. It was very, it was a lot of emotions because, like, a lot of people were like, there's no way. And we're like, Sean could do it, but if he's not going to grapple. Then he went out there and didn't grapple at all and still won. And it's like, he won a belt after losing his leg 4 years ago. He doesn't bend his knees when he fights, You can't, he's crippled. He's all these things. And he beat arguably the best middleweight of all time. It's freaking inspiring stuff. It's also like, dude, what are my excuses? Like, I have 2 working legs, and I'm black athlete. Like, I have all the advantages. Like, fate hooked me up, and like some unathletic white guy on 1 leg and win a belt. I have high hopes. Damn it! Like, anyone could do it if Sean Strickland could do it.
I wanted your thoughts on Patty versus Tony. I know that you really love Tony and you fought Patty. So what were you thought about that fight?
Like, I'm in a weird position, because you always want your opponents to like be very successful because it makes you look better by like association. But it's a lose-lose situation for Patty. Like, I don't think he really gains much for beating Tony. Like, he's already as popular as Tony in terms of like fan base and like social media hype. But like this is the fight. Like, this could be the fight for Tony. Like, they both have bad defense. Statistically speaking, they may improve it. People will be putting me in the comments like, you're an idiot. You're wrong. But neither of them have really shown good offensive wrestling, good defense, or good one-punch stopping power, really. So like, this is the one for Tony. Like, I think Tony could do this one. I hope he does. And I hope it's not a decision because things happen when you decision Patty Pimblett. I mean, I want Patty to win for my ego, but for my heart and my soul, I want Tony Ferguson to win and to ride off into the sunset and, be a fitness influencer with David Goggins. They could lunge off into the sunset.
Makes sense. And then finally, what's the book count right now?
Right now, what's your wife's book count at?
60, I think 69.
Trouncing her, 82 right now. Hopefully I'll be at 85 by the end of this week. But also, if I get knocked out, I'm probably going to have to reread some passages. I'm not going to remember that. So at least 84 for the end of this week. But 82 right now. If I could just finish like 8 more books this month, I'll have a really easy, lazy December with a newborn. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
I've just got one. You kind of mentioned it. I was wondering what your thoughts are on the whole David Goggins training. Like, what's, like, from a serious standpoint, what do you think of that kind of training for a fighter?
I mean, Tony's main strength was his conditioning, his mental toughness, and that's not been his weak point in my humble, unranked, nobody opinion. Tony's always been mentally tough. He's always been crazy. He's always trained crazier than any other fighter. So I think it's weird for him to double down on where he's not showing anything lacking. So, I mean, maybe he's turned a corner. Maybe Tony even has like a more dangerous demon inside of him. The devil was unleashed. That's what like David Goggins said. I mean, I think it could work. If it works for anybody, it'll work for Tony. But that made me kind of scratch my head, maybe a little worried for his prospects in the upcoming bout.
A lot of fans were really bothered by how many times he was puking and how many times he filmed himself puking. How many times do you puke during training?
I have never puked from exertion in my life. Maybe I never work hard. Like, there's definitely that to be said. Maybe I've never worked hard enough. But like, puking when that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, from an evolutionary standpoint, like, you're in a really weak point. Let's make you weaker. I've never puked. I've never been close to puking. I've almost puked from nerves, but never puked from fatigue. So never. The answer is never. Never.
One last one for me. In your video of your first fight, you said that you didn't know about a jock strap. So if anybody who hasn't heard that story, can you tell it?
So because I only did wrestling. You don't wear a cuff in wrestling. I never did any sports. And there's no man in my house to talk to me about balls and athletic cups and everything. My first amateur fight, like I put on the cup upside down because logic would tell me it's like a triangle shape, and the wide part is for the balls. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so I put it on and I'm like, these things are uncomfortable as hell. And like there's one point where I'm like in a guillotine and like it pulls down like my pants and it's like stretching my jock strap and I'm like, my balls are about to pop off in this fight. So like after the fight, I'm like, I'm talking to my coach, I'm like, what do you do with your cup? Like, how do you make this more comfortable? And he's like, you're just upside down. And I was like, oh. So then I learned, but also I didn't have a fitted mouthpiece until my fourth fight anyway. Like I was just an idiot, I read a lot, but I think I read to like make up for mental weaknesses and intellectual deficits. Because, I just, no common sense when it comes to that type of stuff for sure. I could have Googled it. I Google everything now, but back then I didn't know what to do.
Jordan over here. I mean, for you, someone like you that trains at Syndicate a few minutes away and you put in the work at the PI pretty often, do you prefer fight week here in Vegas at the Apex, or I know the fight didn't go your way, but would you enjoy more like going to London or something like that?
Oh, a little correction. This is my first camp completely at Stream Couture, so I'm XC for life, for this camp. In regards to fighting out the Apex, I prefer the Apex. It's the best. Like, I mean, I've only fought in London where everyone hated me and threw stuff at me, and I smacked a fan. Like, that was a really, like, divisive, bad experience for me. And then, not to mention the teabag, all that stuff. And the Apex is it's cozy. I love all 14 people that show up to my fights. It's really nice. I'm like, I know the one person. But one downside is my wife hasn't seen me fight since I've been to the UFC, since I got my Contender Series thing. My wife hasn't seen me fight since the end of 2018. So like now, majority of my fights like have been without family there. So that's kind of a weird position. So T-Mobile's the goal. I'd love to fight in T-Mobile, but Apex is nice. That's a good second place for me.
So you'd like to fight in any arena as long as it's not like a hostile environment against you?
Yeah, as long as there's a nice tax code for the place I'm fighting, I'm down. Like send me to anywhere in America, maybe not MSG, because that's kind of a dump. Like Madison Square Garden's like kind of trashy, if I'm being honest. It's pretty bad. So was the O2. But like, yeah, I'll fight anywhere, damn it, anywhere, anytime. But yeah, the Apex is nice. T-Mobile would be a dream come true, though.
Thank you.
What about the Sphere? Sorry. What about the Sphere? Would you fight there?
Ooh, that would be fancy. They want to do that for the Mexican Independence Day one. So, I'm not the right melanin. I'm not sure I'm going to make the cut for that one. But that would be nice. I'll work on my Spanish. The Sphere would be nice. Anywhere in Vegas would be pretty awesome. Or anywhere nearby. Even if they do a Cali card, I'd be down for that once. But yeah.
And just to follow up with what you were talking about with Jeronimo, has the wife gotten to see you fight, or no, because she's taking care of the family?
No, my wife hasn't seen me fight since I've gotten my contract. Last time she saw me fight was when I fought in Ohio, like in a Freemasons temple. So she hasn't seen me fight like in a legitimate crowd yet. So that'd be nice. I'd love to get a ticket for her, but the VIP experience and all that. But yeah, my wife has more things to worry about. Like, so my baby's due 4 days after the fight. So this has the potential to be the most stressful week of my life. That's my main concern for this entire camp has been like, just don't go into labor on the weigh-in day or fight day, and it'll be good. Because I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do the whole thing where like, she's going into labor, you gotta win this fight early. No, I'm out. Like the fight's not happening. I'm gonna faint backstage. Like you'll see it. My wife goes into labor. I'm sorry. I'm not going. I'm not fighting. I'm sorry, Chase. Sorry, UFC. But yeah. Would love to see my wife. I want my wife and my mom to see me fight in the UFC at least once, and that would be nice. I miss having them in the crowd.
Excellent, man. Can't wait to see that happen, and good luck on Saturday, and with the baby.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.